Hello. Today we are going to talk about 4 ways to say the future in English. You can talk about future and say, we don't know anything about future. Let's read this comic strip. It makes no sense to worry about the future. By the time you get there, it's the past. Yeah, true story. Probably know and use a lot. For example, will and be going to. You know that there are differences between them, and we are going to talk about this. This future we commonly use like be going to and will. But what are the differences between them? When you have some plans, you have a future that you planned before, you're going to use be going to. Why be going to? I'm talking about am, is, are going to. Look, this first example. She's going to attend college. She planned about this. But when you promise something, you have a kind of prediction, is a kind of far future, you're going to use will. Or when you have decided something at that moment and you're going to use will to. But I am going to read two examples here, the first one and the last one of this chart. I think I will go to that party next week. It's very important to pay attention that you're not so sure because you're using think. Usually, when you use think, guess, any other verbs that show that you're not so sure, you're going to use will. Or when you have decided something, for example, yes, I will marry you. In these cases, you're going to use will, not be going to. Be going to is usually for plans, intentions that you thought before. But we have other 2 ways to speak the future, to say about the future. When we use, for example, present continuous. The present continuous is obvious using the present, but when you talk about the future, and this future is a kind of soon future, not from 50 years. It's to say something that is going to happen in a couple of days, for example. Let's check these examples here. First one, I'm going to Spain with my friend in August. Pay attention, I'm not using here be going to, because when we use be going to, there going to be another verb as the main verb. For example, if I want to use be going to in the first sentence, it's supposed to be I'm going to go to Spain. But I'm using just I'm going to. I'm going. The second one, they are coming. Third one, he's flying. I'm using here the present continuous just to show you that we have some arrangements, and as I told you before, a future that is gonna to happen soon. We have some months or a specific time and verbs of frequency to show you that is going to come or to happen soon. Look the second example. They are coming to visit us in summer. Probably summer in this case is soon. He is flying to Miami in July. I'm showing you that in these cases here we have arrangements that probably is going to happen soon. And the present simple when we talk about kinds of timetables. I'm going to show you some examples of simple present when we use simple present to talk about the future. I'm going to show you some examples of this kind of timetables. Timetable or kind of schedule. For example, the first one, the office closes at 5 o'clock today. Closes because it's the third person of singular, and you have to put es, but I'm using here simple present. The flight leaves before lunchtime tomorrow. My friend arrives from Chicago on Wednesday. I'm using here present simple just to show you that you can use present simple to talk about the future, but usually you're talking about some schedule or timetables. Now I brought this chart again just to review the two most commonly ways to use future. Again, will and be going to. We have examples here in the yellow chart and in this blue chart, in the blue circle. Examples of will. Will when you're talking about at the present moment, or when you have decided something, the phone is ringing, I will get it. When you promise or offer something and you have a refusal, as the example of the third one in yellow. When you talk about future facts, I haven't talked about this before. We are going to use will to. Future fact, for example, the sun will rise tomorrow at 7 a.m. We are talking about something that is probably happen. We are going to use will. But remember, when you talk about intentions or predictions, something that you planned before, you're going to use be going to. There are some examples in this green one and the purple chart that you can check about predictions or intentions that you're going to use be going to. Remember that, okay? Let's practice a little bit. Go and do your best.